we doing it?
I think it's working.
It is. This is Neutral Zone Infraction / That Mediocre Sports Show, and we are live.
We're still trying to. We have the longest title in history. It's like Neutral Zone Reaction / That Mediocre Sports Show.
You said reaction.
I did?
Yeah.
Neutral Zone Infraction.
I got it on tape.
Yeah, that's okay. Neutral Zone Reaction. Well, I didn't say distraction.
No,
I said
distraction.
Neutral Zone Reaction.
Yeah.
Neutral Zone Infraction / That Mediocre Sports Show.
I looked at the camera.
There's a lot. That's a lot of title right there. I don't know if we're going to get that on a T-shirt.
Well,
if anybody ever...
I thought of a great name for a T-shirt. Me and Ed. And I didn't mean to interrupt you, but you know I'm good at it. So I was thinking, if you preface? Thank you.
What?
If you preface, and this has nothing to do with sports, a negative with a positive in front and behind, does that make it okay? As an example, this is nothing to you, but with all due respect, you're a dick. No offense.
Thanks.
I mean, but does that make it okay? Because I surrounded...
With all due respect...
That's a positive.
That's the positive. That's called the positive sandwich.
And then, yeah.
That's called the positive sandwich.
Wait, you telling me someone thought this up?
Yes, somebody already thought this up.
Oh,
it's called
yeah.
the positive sandwich.
No.
It's like you start out good, you give them the crap in the middle, and then you hit them with the bad, or you hit them with the good again.
My thought
it's
was...
like you encourage, discourage, encourage. So they end it happy. It's like they sit there. Okay, it's a ploy. It's
my new way.
Let's take Peyton Manning. Let's do this with Peyton. We'll turn this into a sports thing.
With all due respect.
No. We're gonna do it. Peyton, you threw. Let's see. It's hard to come up with a positive right now because he had a bad season at the end.
No, he did not have a bad season. He went 12-4. He had a sore leg muscle.
It's like Peyton, you did really good playing on that bad leg this year.
He handed it off well.
But we lost the playoff game because you were ineffective up against the Indianapolis Colts. But we think next year you will do even better. See, you hit him with the bad thing in the middle, but you gave him something positive. It's like we think you did well with that injury.
I totally disagree. You didn't call him a dick or an ass or nothing like that.
No, but I said that we lost that game because of you. That second game, we lost that because of you because you were ineffective against the Colts, who you should have shredded.
He should have shredded him.
So we hit him with a positive right there in the middle, the meat.
So what you're saying is
sucked against the Colts. But I still like him as my quarterback.
I do like him as my quarterback. Now today's show.
See, there you go. That would be even another positive. I basically put another layer of bread. So he's got 2 bottom pieces of bread. That's a lot of bread.
Is he a bottom feeder then?
He might be a bottom feeder.
No, he's not. We love Peyton Manning.
We do. Great quarterback. I'm glad he's a Bronco. I really am.
I know you are. I know you are. And we do like him. And we would love to have him.
All the times I say I hate, and that was I like Peyton Manning.
We're realizing that when we say mediocre and take a drink, Randy says hate a lot. And
I say it so much.
And we were talking, we try not to cuss, and I have failed a little bit at that. But
we want this to be family.
See, my
friendly.
kid watches.
Although saying hate all the time.
Has been my kid when he watches, he's 10, he watches his things, and I'm like, dude, I'm kind of tired of the way they talk. And people will say, why would you let your kid listen to it? Well, he's going to hear it out on the street, and he doesn't talk.
Dad.
He doesn't talk that way, so I'm proud of him. Both of my kids, I should probably say that. Anyway, back to
I don't think they watch these videos.
Oh, they do. I make them. You want your allowance?
It's time to watch Daddy on TV time.
If you want your allowance, you'll watch.
You'll watch this video and you'll critique it, and you'll say that the other guy wasn't as good.
Well, I'm wondering which one of us is eye candy, and I am still out on.
Well, there is no eye candy here. The best eye candy might be the fridge in the back. That might be the biggest eye candy.
I had Van Halen back there on the fridge in the back. Right. Okay, back to this topic. The topic is free agencies.
Rambling about
it's okay.
Nothing,
It's okay. We it's good.
4 minutes of it.
Yeah, we got a timer on here and everything now. Okay, so the topic is free agency. Does it help you really get over the hump or to the championship game?
Yeah.
Now, we were trying to think of great free agency signings, and we couldn't. Well, I mean, Peyton Manning, but we got to the Super Bowl, so that's a great one. I came up with Darrelle Revis. I'm 2-0. Randy has none.
I don't agree with Darrelle Revis because it helped the Patriots, so I don't agree with it. Not a bit. I don't agree with it. I think Darrelle Revis. Okay. Darrelle Revis just went back to the Jets. What are the Jets going to do this year?
Same as they did last year.
Okay, so he's not an impact player because he is not. Darrelle Revis, in my opinion, did not impact that team severely enough, because he's going to go, if he's that great, he's going to go to the Jets and they're going to have the same result. But the Jets.
Oh, please, you did not.
I just said that.
Did you?
I just said it.
Can we do a show on stupid things said?
No, that's my example though. That's why Darrelle Revis is
no
not.
Offense.
It was not the.
With all due respect.
No, with all due respect. With all due respect, you don't know football.
No offense.
But, and I'm not going to even follow it up with a positive.
Okay.
But here's the thing: Darrelle Revis is. You say he was so impactful.
Well, you said, can you think of anybody? And I came up with Darrelle Revis.
But it's not, because okay, now you have another thing. Darrelle Revis when he went to Tampa Bay.
He sucked.
He was terrible. Darrelle Revis going back to the Jets.
Did he get hurt? Didn't he get hurt?
He got hurt for the Jets. He got hurt when he was with the Jets. He went to Tampa Bay, and he had recovered from that.
He just sucked there then?
He was not very good.
Okay, so what I would like to say then is, because...
Darrelle Revis is the wrong answer to impactful signings of free agents.
Well, okay, no, I'm going to stand out here, and I'm going to fight with this, because you know I will fight about nothing.
You're going to lose this
fight.
No,
what has to happen is you have to still have a decent quarterback. Tampa Bay didn't have a decent quarterback, and
Tampa Bay hasn't had a decent quarterback since never.
Vinny Testaverde?
No, Brad Johnson was the guy that won them the Super Bowl.
He wasn't good.
It was because Rich
he wasn't
Gannon,
even mediocre.
It's like, yeah, he wasn't even on our best mediocre quarterback.
Okay, so what about if you think about it, you have to have a decent quarterback for any of these free agent signings to help you get to the next level, meaning a Super Bowl, a championship. You know, everybody gives this. It's the kid in Seattle, Wade. I called him Wade Wilson.
Russell Wilson. Wade Wilson. That's a Minnesota Viking quarterback.
I like the Vikings. So
I know you do.
So Russell Wilson, I don't think he's, as you would say, elite, but he has a damn elite team around him. They're good.
He's got a very good defense behind him.
Okay, so
he's got a pretty good offensive line.
So his
wide receivers are junk, and his running back is amazing.
Yeah. Oh God. What's his name? I can't even remember because he doesn't even talk. I knew his name. I actually wanted
Marshawn Lynch. We had a whole show where we asked the Magic 8 Ball who was Marshawn Lynch.
You know what? I knew it was Marshawn Lynch.
I don't think you did.
I did.
I think it's like you're getting old and you're forgetting things.
I do. But I did.
We're going to call this. It's like that's why that Medicare show was going to be there. It's like it's going to be.
Well, you know,
it's going to be neutral zone infraction / that Alzheimer's show / that mediocre sports show.
We talked about Alzheimer's, and the truth of the matter is, if no one tells you got it, you won't know you're going to.
You won't know, and every day's a new day.
Every day's a new day. We could have done this show 4 times. I don't know.
But
I do know this. My point is that you have to have a decent quarterback in order for any free agent signing to work. You can put Adrian Peterson, who's going to go to the Cowboys, maybe, Marshawn Lynch on a different team. And if you don't have a decent, and I mean a good quarterback, not even decent, it's got to be good, they're not going to have the impact to get him to the championship.
Well, and that's what I'm saying.
Adrian Peterson.
It's like, think about it this way: most free agents that are signed, especially in the NFL, they spend a lot of money. They're not impactful. They're not the reason that you won the Super Bowl unless you have signed that quarterback. The quarterback. You look at how the Broncos were doing all these 8-8s before we got Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning was an impactful signing of a free agent.
And
he didn't get it. He didn't win us the title, but he got us there. But that is impactful because it's like we went from 8-8 teams all the way up to 12 and 14.
I'll tell you what else he did. I'll tell you what else.
We looked really good with Peyton Manning.
We do, and we still do, and we're still gonna.
And we're still gonna.
And I'll tell you what else it does. You take Peyton Manning. We know every year, as long as we got Peyton Manning, we're going to the playoffs. Yep. Now that's what that does. Now, instead of saying getting you to the championship, maybe we should lower our levels, and that's not hard for us. We've done that many times. What if you lowered the level to just getting you to the championship, the AFC NFC championship game, or a playoff victory? And my point is, Sue. I love the guy named Sue. That guy, I want him on my team. I think he's awesome, but not for $20 million a year. I do not.
No.
J.J. Watt makes. Randy and I argued about this, and he took the side of J.J. Watt.
I will still take the side of J.J. Watt because I believe he is a very impactful defensive player.
So impactful that they didn't make playoffs. And why didn't they make the playoffs, Randy? Say it one word.
Because they have a terrible quarterback.
Quarterback. There you go. One word, quarterback. So J.J. Watt, $100 million a year. Sue is going to make, not $100 million a year. I'm so stupid. $100 million. I really shouldn't learn what I'm talking about. $100 million contract, about $20 million a year. Sue's going to get about $20 million a year. Will that get you to the playoffs? Will that get you any further along in the playoffs?
I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't have J.J. Watt, your team loses 4 more games because you don't have J.J. Watt. J.J. Watt by himself as a defensive end, in my opinion, I'm going to say it's in fact. Without J.J. Watt, they are a 4-12 team. They are that bad without J.J. Watt.
What was the record this year?
8-8.
What was the record last year?
Their record last year was
the year before
2-14. Remember, because they won their first 2 games, lost 14 in a row.
And they had J.J. Watt.
They had J.J. Watt, but they had Matt Schaub, who had lost all of his confidence.
Matt Schaub was...
Could you imagine without J.J. Watt, they'd have been 0-16? In fact, they probably would have been -2-18. They would have been the first negative 2 wins, 18 loss team in the history of the NFL. That's how bad they would have been.
You just sunk 20 million.
I would sink it again. I will give J.J. Watt $20 million a year to be on my team right now.
What about Sue?
Ndamukong Suh, I will only say this. I will give Ndamukong Suh $12 million a year.
What?
I will give him $12 million a year.
Von Miller.
Von Miller's a $12 million a year guy. I'd give Von Miller $12 million a year.
You got to have, basically what free agency comes down to, NFL, is you got to have a quarterback. You can have Adrian. Why are you bobbing your head? I can see you in the camera, and you're bobbing your freaking head, which is another.
Because I'm entertaining myself while you talk.
It's like doing this behind my head or one of these, and I can see you.
Basically,
what are you saying? What I'm going to say is just pull poop?
Yeah, that's why I could just sit over here and kind of bob my head, because it's like I'm just going to bebop to some music in my head while you ramble.
Well, if I hear rattling, I forgot what I was talking about.
So did I.
God bless him. God damn it. I hate when I forget what I'm talking about, and you don't remember. That tells me you're not listening. I don't remember either. You can tell who your friends are.
But it has something to do with the Ndamukong Suh, Von Miller, making $12 million a year.
Okay, that's on it. That's pretty close. Anyway, if you don't have a quarterback, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Well, okay, that's...
God, I wish I could watch that and see what I was talking about. You can see my head spinning.
This is what's so kind of off topic, but... people always say quarterbacks, they get too much of the credit and not enough, or they get too much of the credit, too much of the blame. That's not true. Because you look in the history, usually your best teams in the NFL that have gone to Super Bowls always have great quarterbacks.
Wrong.
You look at bad teams.
Wrong.
You look at bad teams
Mark Rippon.
Huh?
Mark Rippon.
I said most teams. I didn't say all.
Damn it.
I didn't say all. I said most.
Joe Montana.
Because Trent Dilfer and Joe Montana have won Super Bowls.
I thought you'd like that.
So it's like great mediocre quarterbacks can win Super Bowls with great teams around them. But most of the time, you look at how bad those Broncos teams were in the 80s. John Elway single-handedly got us to Super Bowls.
I got into arguments with people about, you know what? You take Montana, put him on here, and he's going to die. You put Randall Cunningham, I love him, but you know what? He's no Elway.
Nope.
Marino, you could have put him on this team, and Marino. But I'm just going to say it. Elway was, I know in the Super Bowls they got they got creamed. And not in the one against the Giants, not the first one. They actually were in that game.
We were in that game, and then it kind of fell apart. The wheels kind of fell off after.
And we were in the one with the Washington Redskins up until the second quarter. God knows what happened.
Oh yeah, we were up 10-7.
Yeah,
you looked awesome. That bomb to Ricky Nattiel. Wow,
that was cool. But I'm getting at is Elway. A great quarterback will get you to a championship. You better have a little bit of a team around you, or you won't win. And I can give you a bunch of examples. Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer, and he had a decent team around him.
But the thing is, they ran into the buzzsaw, which was the NFC. Because remember, at the time, the AFC was the weaker conference, and the NFC was killing everybody.
And they didn't have great quarterbacks. They had none of the great quarterbacks. They had the Phil Sims. They had the
Mark Rippons of the
Joe
world.
Montana. Well,
they had Joe Montana.
I should let you say. Yeah. No, I mean they
had so many mediocre quarterbacks, but they had great teams.
They had great teams.
But they had Troy Aikman. Troy Aikman was part of a lot of those.
How would he have done on a team that didn't have the Wall of Dallas,
the Great Wall of Dallas,
and Emmitt Smith, Michael Irvin, John Elway took.
I'll tell you.
had
I'll
a
tell
Hall
you
of
right
Famer.
now. I like Troy Aikman. I've always thought Troy Aikman he's always carried himself with a lot of class. He's never been controversial. He's always been solid. He never tried to get any of the attention. You know why? I'm going to tell you why Troy Aikman never tried to get attention.
Fun.
I want to tell you why Troy Aikman never tried to grab attention, because Troy Aikman knew that you could stick any quarterback, even Joe Montana. You could have stuck any quarterback behind the Great Wall of Dallas, and they would have won titles. Because that offensive line was that good. That is the best offensive line to ever be assembled. They were huge. They were the right kind of nasty. They had just enough technique. They had everything. That offensive line was huge.
They were, but okay. So are you saying then that Emmitt Smith, if he'd gone somewhere else, wouldn't have done as well?
Emmitt Smith would have been a mediocre running back.
Okay, so
else.
Oh my God, you are going to get all right. No.
I'm telling you, I'm sorry. I don't think
but
Emmitt
you know
Smith
what?
is that good. I really
the show was supposed to be on free agency, and now
we've
totally gone off the deep end. But that's okay. Walter Payton just shows you how great of a running back he was, because
he was an awesome running back.
Okay, so
he was on bad
and I
teams
think
for a long
Emmitt
time.
Smith was a pretty good running back.
I don't. I think Emmitt Smith was the beneficiary of the Great Wall of Dallas. Now, on the flip side of that, I think Michael Irvin was a great wide receiver. Because I've never seen a man push off so many times and not get caught. He had that subtlety. But I think Michael Irvin would have been a great wide receiver no matter where he would have went.
He sure would have.
So
that's a great example, because there was a guy that played on that Dallas team who was a receiver, and he was so good I can't think of his name.
Alvin Harper.
Thank you. And I wouldn't have remembered it anyway, even if I did know.
I could have said Steve Watson.
I got my daughter's name tattooed here, so I don't.
It's like
no, but I'm
I
saying
could have said Steve Watson.
Yeah, but no, I knew it wasn't Steve Watson. I knew it was a really cool name like Alvin Harper. So Alvin Harper goes to the Buccaneers. I remembered that, and sucked.
He was terrible.
He was terrible, absolutely terrible. And they didn't need a great. They had Novacek. They had Moose Johnson,
Darryl Johnston.
and that was just because the NFC did a thing where they would run and pound with big guys, and the AFC would do this thing where they just finesse you to death.
Yep.
And I hate to use that word because they're 300-pound men, but it's true.
So
our point is, if you don't have the quarterback, I think this is our point.
This is our point.
Our point is, if you don't have the quarterback, you can sign Sue. You can sign J.J. Watt.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. He just said that.
I'll agree that J.J. Watt needs a great quarterback to get him all the way. But I think that he is the best defensive player. The best defensive player in football.
So what I was going to say is, let's just take it down a notch. Not you, but a great. Maybe not great. You don't need a Hall of Fame quarterback. Because I'm going to tell you what. And you don't even need an elite quarterback. I said great, and I apologize because that was wrong. You really need a really good mediocre quarterback. I'm watching your head. Because Flacco's a mediocre quarterback. Ryan's a mediocre quarterback. None of these guys are elite. They're not Peyton Manning. They're not
Tom Brady.
Thank you for saying that. I bet that hurt.
I like Tom Brady. I don't have anything against Tom Brady.
What? No way.
I don't like Bill Belichick.
That's right.
Remember? I don't like Bill Belichick.
You were the one that told me how great he was. You told me when he was with Cleveland how he got hosed.
He did one good year.
But that was with Cleveland.
Yeah, because they moved the team.
And you're saying
but I hate him.
But you said
I still hate him. I don't care if I can still give somebody kudos who I hate, but it doesn't change the fact that I hate them.
Joe Montana.
I can do it.
Joe Montana.
Joe Montana is the best mediocre quarterback. I give him credit. I tell him the best mediocre quarterback of all time.
Okay.
That is a compliment.
I got a story because we bash on Joe Montana, and this is good. So basically, we made our point. Free agency is not going to do a damn thing for you unless you got a quarterback who's at least mediocre. Joe Montana. You know a guy named Tom where we work?
Yeah, neither of us.
Okay, anyway. Tom was getting back surgery. He lived in San Francisco at the time. Did I say that right?
San Francisco?
San Francisco. Came out fast. I'm trying to hurry. And they had the same doctor, Joe Montana and Tom. Go figure. So the doctor says, "Hey, do you like football?" And Tom's like, "Yeah, I love football." "Hey, you want to? I got some. Come into the back waiting room. They had an extra waiting room. Goes in there, and there's Joe Montana. And so Tom is talking with Joe Montana. How cool is that? Randy wouldn't have been because Randy would have.
I would have.
You would have been punched in the face by Joe Montana. A mediocre quarterback who would have punched you in the face.
Elway would have won 6 Super Bowls in a row if he was on your team.
And I have no problem.
6 in a row.
Yeah, he would have too, because we all agree Elway's the best.
Elway's awesome.
He is. And back to that. So Tom, they say their goodbyes, and Tom gets his surgery. And as he's going to the nurse, he walks out and he goes, "Yeah, I'm ready to go. I need to call a cab." And he goes, "Well, no, mister," and I can't. No, there's a gentleman waiting for you down in the lobby. We're going to take you down there. And they took me down there. And there was a chauffeured limousine purchased, provided by Joe Montana, with all of the amenities inside to take Tom home because Joe remembered his surgery. Now, that's a pretty good story, and I know you hate it.
I'll tell you what, being the greatest mediocre quarterback of all time pays pretty well if you can afford to give somebody a limo ride. I'll tell you, I should have strived for that in my career, being the best mediocre. That's what I'm trying for right now, to be the best mediocre sports-talking person.
Oh, you've succeeded.
Yeah, there you go. I'm not getting paid for it
I got
yet.
a quick one about Elway, too. We used to work with a guy who was a waiter, and you probably heard this one. And he was waiting at this restaurant, waiting tables, and Elway was there. And Elway was talking to him. And the guy, "Where you go to school at?" And the guy said, "Where he went to school." And Elway goes, "Well, you can do better than that." And he goes, "Well, no, I can't." Elway footed his college throughout his whole college. Paid the bill. That's a cool story.
That is a cool story.
His name was Eric.
But see, that's a great quarterback doing a great thing. And that was a greatest.
I got 2 kids. I need to find Elway. Elway, I got 2 kids out there.
It's like a greatest.
That's why I didn't go to college.
Quarterback did a really nice thing for somebody. It's like, see, it's like either the greatness, either the greatest mediocre quarterback or just the greatest quarterback.
So what did we learn today about free agency?
What we learned today is that Sean hates J.J. Watt. So J.J. Watt.
I don't hate him. I like him. I love J.J. Watt. He's a great player.
You don't value him enough.
I don't think.
You don't value him enough. J.J. Watt, the best defensive player to play.
I did see him in pictures with Katy Perry, and that was really cool.
It's like, all I'm saying is, J.J. Watt, you're awesome, buddy. You're awesome. I wish you were a Denver Bronco.
I wish you were a Denver Bronco. I really wish you were a Denver Bronco.
I would trade Von Miller for you. I'd trade my defense for J.J. Watt and just start from scratch. Let's just get some scrubs and J.J. Watt.
I might be onto that. I might be up with that, too. I would just like to say, J.J. Watt, I do like you. I'm getting close to the camera, in case you're watching this. You see how sincere I even have.
That's not sincerity. That is total lies. Lies! You don't hear the stuff he says about you. You're not worth your money. He said that. You're not worth your money.
$100 million!
I think he's worth it. I would pay him that. I would pay J.J. Watt. I wouldn't pay Ndamukong Suh.
If there was no salary cap, I'm all for it. But I got a salary cap, and
I'd pay J.J. Watt that and say, Peyton, you need to take a pay cut. Because you've already made too much money.
I would do that. I'm just saying that you can have.
You know that he's made $250 million just off the NFL. That's all he's made. $250 million is what he's made in his salaries.
What about the pizza he delivers?
That's different money.
I wish I had.
But the NFL has paid Peyton Manning $250 million. $250 million.
That's $250 million. If you average that out
yet
over how many Super Bowl wins, that's $250,000 for one Super Bowl. That's incredible that I did the math in my head.
That is awesome. I'm telling you right now. Now if you could just figure out how much he gets paid per playoff win.
I want to know what he gets paid per pizza.
He gets a stipend of 5 cents per pizza.
So anyway, I do like J.J. Watt, and I am saying though that you can kick butt and do a free agency, but the truth of the matter is, unless you got the ball, the guy to throw the ball. I was going to say the balls, but I meant the guy to throw the quarter.
You're really not making your point at this point.
And I'm not. Second one, I swear, Randy will. Little freaking bobblehead back there. Okay, well, anyway,
that's a new thing for me. I've decided. Kind of just when Sean's just rambling,
You know what? I have to produce the show. I have to come up with the Okay,
that was actually good. That's the music that's going on in my head.
We're out. We're out. Basically, free agency.
I don't think we really made our point.
We did. Free agency does not get you what you need for a championship unless you have a gunslinger, a man to throw the ball. You need that. Otherwise, everything else you're getting is just selling tickets and maybe get you to the playoffs. Maybe. As in J.J. Watt's case, no. Or...
Because who's going to say who? Okay.
Well, I don't
who
think...
out there thinks the Miami Dolphins are going to win the Super Bowl this year because they signed Ndamukong Suh?
No, hell no.
Okay.
And you know what?
We've made our point there. I think that makes our point
And
too.
how good is the Detroit Lions quarterback? Because they're going to lose 2 guys on the defensive line.
Yeah.
Fairly and
That will be a good point. Let's see how the Detroit Lions do this year because Stafford is still in place.
Yep.
Let's see how they degrade. Let's see what losing Ndamukong Suh and Farley. Let's see how
and
many.
he has the greatest receiver. Could be.
Calvin Johnson.
So
He's got
what
Megatron.
happens if
Great nickname too.
it is, and he gave it to himself. I've
did.
given myself great nicknames over the.
I've never given myself a great nickname.
TML.
What?
2-man lift. That's what I said I was.
Oh, that you did. Yeah, you are TML.
2-man lift.
2-man lift.
All the pictures on everything say 2-man lift, and I lift it anyway because I'm. Yeah. Anyway, we're out. You can catch us next week.
you should never promise them next week.
Actually, we filmed 2 minutes, and I didn't realize I turned the camera on. And I had.
Oh, that's a 2-minute show we did. That's done right there. That's what I'm saying.
Let's see if that.